I was scrolling through YouTube one night, half asleep, half procrastinating, when I stumbled on this guy absolutely screaming at the camera about calories, fake natties, and how everyone on the internet is lying to you. And my first instinct was exactly what yours probably would be. There's no way this guy is legit. He's yelling like a man who found out someone ate his meal prep. But then I clicked, and I clicked again, and again. And suddenly, I wasn't laughing anymore. I was impressed. Because the more I looked into the numbers behind Greg Doucette, the more something became brutally obvious. This guy wasn't just screaming. He was building an empire. I kept digging. I found claims that he was making millions per year, selling out cookbook after cookbook, training thousands of clients, launching a supplement brand, and doing it all while maintaining one of the strangest, most polarizing, most effective personal brands I'd ever seen. And at some point, curiosity hit me like a deadlift PR. How does someone go from a loud Canadian IFBB pro yelling in his kitchen to a multi-million-dollar business machine? More importantly, how did he keep it? Most creators burn out. Most fitness entrepreneurs fade after one trend cycle. But Greg, he scaled. He expanded. He endured. So here's the real story of how Greg Doucette built a $10 million empire, and the surprising reason he was actually able to keep it. When you hear the name Greg Doucette today, you think of the high-pitched voice, the relentless energy, the brutally honest fitness takes. But a long time before all that internet fame, Greg was just a kid in Nova Scotia with two things that would define his entire life: relentless competitiveness and an ability to push his body and mind farther than most people would ever dare. He wasn't born wealthy. He didn't grow up with connections. He wasn't even the most genetically gifted athlete in his circle. What he did have was something most people can't manufacture, no matter how badly they want it: the willingness to outwork absolutely everybody. That's the first thing most people misunderstand about successful entrepreneurs. They imagine there's always some magical moment or twist of fate, but very often it starts with something simple: early habits. Greg was lifting weights before most kids his age even understood how to spell hypertrophy. He was driven, obsessed even, and his early obsession built something foundational: discipline. The discipline to track calories before tracking calories was cool. The discipline to train even on the days when normal people would rather stay in bed. The discipline to prepare meals, perform workouts, and log repetitions, long before social media turned bodybuilding into a lifestyle aesthetic instead of a grind. Successful people tend to show signs early, not because they're chosen or destined, but because they latch onto something that feels like purpose. And for Greg, that purpose came wrapped in iron plates. Later, he'd become a national record-setting powerlifter, an IFBB pro bodybuilder, and a coach long before coaching on Instagram became a trend. But the real turning point wasn't lifting. It was how he thought. Even in his early years, Greg thought strategically. While most people were blindly cycling bulks and cuts, he was analyzing. That's why one of the earliest insights of his career, and one that defines him even today, is simple. Most people fail because they complicate what should be simple. Successful people do the opposite: simplicity over perfection. Greg's early life didn't explode into fame or wealth overnight. There was no single viral moment that put him on the map. If anything, his early journey is the opposite of what young creators expect today. He struggled. He coached small clients. He trained in modest gyms. He competed while juggling side jobs. He uploaded YouTube videos that barely got views. And this is the part of every success story most people skip: the long, uncertain, brutal stretch where you work like a full-time entrepreneur, but get paid like an unpaid intern. At one point, Greg was making videos nobody was watching. His channel sat at just a few thousand subscribers. And the truth is, most people would have quit. But here's what he did differently. He treated the lack of attention not as evidence that he wasn't good enough, but as feedback that he needed to change something. Years later, this single mindset shift would become the backbone of his entire empire. While others panicked, compared themselves, or walked away, Greg analyzed again. He noticed what worked. He noticed what people responded to. He realized something important. The internet rewards authenticity over polish. So he stopped trying to sound like every other fitness creator. He stopped holding back. He stopped filtering his opinions. And the moment he unleashed his real personality, the loud, blunt, sarcastic, brutally honest version of himself, people suddenly paid attention. This moment wasn't accidental. It was intentional authenticity, which leads to another insight he embodied long before most creators understood it. When everyone else is trying to fit in, differentiation is a superpower. But the struggle wasn't just in content. Behind the scenes, Greg had financial challenges, career uncertainty, and even legal trouble. Anyone who follows him knows about the steroid-related case that turned into a massive public drama. And here's the thing, that could have ended everything. Most people, when their reputation gets hit, when they're dragged online, when the internet questions their character, that's the end. But Greg didn't go silent. He didn't hide. He didn't pretend. He did something that's both rare and powerful. He owned it. When I looked deeper, this stood out as a critical turning point. He turned what should have been a career-ending event into a credibility-building moment. He told the truth. He didn't sugarcoat. He didn't dodge. That transparency became a trademark of his brand. People trusted him not because he was perfect, but because he wasn't pretending to be. Most influencers create fake personas. Greg leaned into reality. And the lesson here is huge. Your flaws can destroy your career or define your authenticity. It depends on whether you run from them or confront them. As his channel grew, Greg hit his first real breakthrough. In 2019, his natty or not videos exploded. Suddenly, the fitness world had someone breaking down physiques, calling out Photoshop, distinguishing achievable goals from fantasies. And these videos did something genius. They solved a problem no one else addressed. Millions of young lifters were confused, insecure, and misled by unrealistic physiques online. Greg stepped in and said, "Here's the truth." That honesty built his following faster than any aesthetic ever could. His subscriber count multiplied. His views skyrocketed. His influence spread. But even here, the success didn't come from yelling. It came from understanding psychology. Greg knew people wanted the truth, but they wanted it packaged in a way they couldn't ignore. And that's what his delivery did. The screaming wasn't random. It was strategic, even if he'd never admitted. Loud, high-energy communication cuts through the noise. And online, attention is currency. Then came the moment that changed everything. The launch of the anabolic cookbook. Most fitness creators release ebooks nobody reads. Greg created a product people actually needed. His recipe philosophy was simple but genius. Eat in a way you enjoy, at a calorie level that helps you lose weight without starving. He solved the single biggest problem in the fitness industry: sustainability. And this cookbook didn't just sell, it became a movement. People were posting recipes, sharing progress, telling stories, spreading the brand without being asked. Within months, the cookbook made more money than years of YouTube ad revenue. Within a year, it turned into a multi-million-dollar business on its own. And that's when things went from successful creator to empire builder. Here's what most people miss. Greg didn't just create a product. He created systems, coaching teams, recipe testers, editors, distribution channels, customer funnels, automated selling. He wasn't just a YouTuber by this point. He was operating like a CEO. And this is the critical distinction between someone who goes viral temporarily and someone who builds lasting wealth. Viral creators chase views. Entrepreneurs build infrastructure. He kept scaling. A training program library, apparel, paid plans. And then the biggest one, HTLT supplements. Most creators launch supplements as a side hustle. Greg built a full brand, not white label, not rebranded bulk. He hired formulators, created SKUs, sourced ingredients, and built a product line from scratch. And again, people trusted him. Why? Because he had done the one thing that builds brand trust faster than anything else: consistency. For years, he preached evidence-based fitness. So when he said his formulas were transparent and high quality, his audience believed him. This empire didn't happen by accident. It happened because he made a strategic shift most creators never make. He diversified early. He didn't wait for YouTube to collapse before building other income streams. He used his peak momentum to create businesses that could survive, even if his channel disappeared tomorrow. And that's why he kept the empire instead of losing it. He built for stability, not hype. By 2023, Greg's estimated net worth was around $10 million. Multiple income streams, massive digital product sales, a supplement brand doing 7 figures, a YouTube channel with millions of subscribers. And through it all, Greg stayed Greg. Loud, honest, unfiltered. He didn't soften his message, didn't fake humility for the internet, didn't turn himself into some polished version of a fitness guru. He remained authentic even when it cost him. And that's exactly why his success lasted. Because here's what separates lasting success from short-term hype. Authenticity outlasts algorithm changes. People don't follow Greg for perfect lighting or slow-mo bicep curls. They follow him for truth. That kind of loyalty is rare, and it's powerful. And it's why, even with controversy, even with critics, even with competition, he built something stable. Now, did Greg build something? Yes. Did he keep it? Absolutely. And the reason he kept it is the hardest truth of all. You don't need to be perfect to succeed. You need to be consistent, real, and relentless. That's the Greg Doucette blueprint. And maybe it should be yours too.